government. We demand that the rights of EU citizens in this country are fully protected, just as we wish the rights of UK citizens in other EU countries to be protected as well. And I want to warn the Tories, I want to warn them. If they try to water down or undermine the protections we've secured on employment, consumer or environmental rights, we'll give them the political battle of their lives. As we go into government, you know, we'll have to clear up the mess the Tories have left us. And after long years of austerity, the Tories are leaving a society steeped in debt and scarred by low pay and insecurity, with our public services, well, we've heard, in meltdown. Well, we will commission a review of the scale and causes and responses to debt. That's true, but action is needed fast. So first, what we'll do is what the Tories have failed to do. We in government will bring down the government's deficit and will take and control the debt. The Tories have borrowed, let's be clear, the Tories have borrowed more than any Labour government ever. On arrival in office, we'll set out plans to eliminate the deficit and reduce the debt based upon our fiscal credibility rule. For each policy in our manifesto, we're preparing detailed implementation plans to pay for those public services. Let's just be straight with people. To pay for those public services, we'll close the tax loopholes and the tax avoidance scams by the mega rich. And we're not asking for the earth. We simply want to make sure the rich and the corporations pay their way. Many people are also forced into debt by low wages. It cannot be right that we're the only major developed economy to have grown while wages are lower than they were before the crash 10 years ago. And as inflation hits, many workers are facing yet another real terms cut in their pay. What's interesting, at the same time, the pay of the FTSE 100 chief executives is 160 times that of the average worker. In the election campaign, Theresa May was asked, why were nurses being forced to resort to food banks? And she replied, the issue is complex. It isn't complex, it's simple. They're simply not being paid enough. That's why we insist the pay cap is scrapped once and for all, and not just for some, but for everybody. And we demand decent wages for all workers. Yes, Britain does deserve a pay rise now. And we will introduce, yes, the £10 real living wage, £10 an hour. We'll introduce pay ratios at the top. And I promise this, we will address the gender pay gap that still leaves women's wages trailing 14% behind men. Every piece of legislation that we introduce will be measured against its impact on women before implementation when we go into government.